News not they fly around now. As per day one of the protests. Hey, protesters turned violent. Hey, well, they killed policeman. They did this one. They did that one. Hey, well, they warned the protesters that this thing will turn violent. They should not protest. So this one, that one. That is the news flying all over the place. Oh yeah. My job today is to show you how these things went, how the protests went on the first day. The role of the government and how protesters were peaceful until government decided to bring in their talks to do what? To thwart the protest. They even brought in their police and their army to shoot at innocent protesters. That is my job today. So that I'll go prove them to Ona say, now lie you, protest was peaceful. Now government introduced violence. Yes. Most of them go down here say, inside nyanya. Say nyanya na inside Abuja here. Say it was chaotic, it was violent. Protesters were attacking the uniform men. When people were protesting peacefully going into the town, they say they gave Moshood Abiola Stadium for people to protest. So we are marching there. So we are also marching to Eagle Square. Army came on board and they were hailing the army like they have come to protect them. They don't say army and police carry ulterior motive. Say they carry ulterior motive come, and their ulterior motive not to shoot people, throw tear gas and the rest of them. You cannot be shooting tear gas on me now, and I'll be looking at you as Dundee. Am I a fool? If you throw tear gas, I go throw them back to you now. And they started shooting anyhow. And then the protesters should fold their hands and be looking at them. No. That is not the way. Are you getting it? I must protect myself. Are you getting it? Protest was peaceful. I have always said it. Government will be the one to bring in talks and cause violence so that this protest will not succeed. But this protest will succeed. It has already succeeded. I'll go play on a video. Una go see the rundown of how this thing went on day one. Because as we speak now, I learned that they have declared 24-hour curfew in Gombe, in Kano, and in Borno State. For what? Because people were protesting, and then police came to shoot tear gas and maybe shoot some people. Una go hear them. Even your IG of police, I am so disappointed in Egbe Tokun. Shouldn't have name be that? Egbe something. Say it for your screen. I am so disappointed. This one came out to tell us that they have placed the police on red alert. Red alert not be to shoot through away. Say they even killed one policeman during the who is the policeman? Can you give us the detail of the policeman that was killed? All this propaganda everywhere just to frustrate this protest. And I keep telling you people, if this protest does not succeed, it has succeeded on radio. But if they try and make sure that this protest does not succeed, they have succeeded though. That means that will be an end to anything protest inside this country. That is why they are running helter skelter to make sure that they scatter everybody. But because this time around, hunger is the unifying factor. Hunger has unified everybody. It's no longer emelaka. Enter market now, you won't go buy bread. You don't go talk emelaka, they go sell bread, give you 500 naira. And then say to others that don't know emelaka, 1,700. It doesn't work like that. Are you getting it? So now the rundown I won't give you now to tell you that this government is a very useless government. Very, very useless government. Their own plan is will eat belefu, let Nigerians die. Of which we are saying enough is enough. Oga will work this time. You understand? Let me give you the breakdown. Who am I giving you? Deji Adeyano, say for you, is the lawyer to the groups that are protesting. You understand? And one of them are waiting. Una go here as they take explain this so that una go understand waiting they go on. Not be everything we government come and content and una go believe. Not lie. You go here as it take happen, and then you will tell me whether you are proud to have this Egbe token as your IG of police. Are you telling me? Watch this video. Come to the comment section and tell me what you think. Watch.
Mr. Adeyanju, would you say the objective of your protest today has been achieved?
Apparently it has. Even before the protest started, the protest was already a success. Because the idea of protest is not just to hit the street. It's about agitation, making demands. The demands are so popular. For instance, the issue of return of fuel subsidy. Why are you giving governors all the money when you can, directly give the poor people and give the economy the money? After all, once the governors take the FAC, they actually share, give a token to the local government and overhead cost, and they almost instantly change the rest to dollars and stockpile it, which is unfortunate. The president thinks he's trying to save the nation by saving money. Even before the president started giving the governors triple of their monthly allocation, the governors were alleged of stealing money meant for their state. So why then give them more?
Thank you, Inspector General of Police.
The Inspector General of Police, who's just been briefing the nation about the situation across the country, has told us about the attacks, the death of a police officer, the kind of casualties that we have seen on civilian population in some parts of the country. And he says that all units of the police have been placed on red alert and will move swiftly on that. The Judge you were saying earlier you're talking about the objective, but from what you have seen or heard today from the IG, what's your immediate response to that?
The IG's presser was filled with threats to the Nigerian people. It's completely unacceptable. The IGP does not have the right to donate or withdraw the right to protest to Nigerians. Neither does he have the right to even set guidelines on how people should protest. We had made him know this in our interaction with him a couple of days ago. It is also unfortunate that the IGP should be held responsible for all the violence that happened today in many parts of the country. I'll give you an instance and a simple example of the FCT. In the FCT, the people were hailing the military in Marabayaya because they were extremely professional. But they were the ones that provoked the attack in Marabayaya because they just unprovoked, they just started attacking peaceful protesters and shooting at them. So the people reacted by booing them and by running to save their lives. How is that an attack on the police? And I challenge the IGP to bring the details of the police officer that he claimed was killed in any part of this country today. That it is a big lie. No police officer was killed today. Today alone, the IGP and his men killed several protesters in Borno. They killed several unarmed protesters in Kaduna. They killed protesters in Suleja. These guys should
start. These reports you are getting from your people on the ground?
They are all in the news. All on social media.
Are you getting
videos and documentary evidence to back up all these claims?
Some of which,
people that have died. And that's why we challenge the Inspector General of Police to provide the details and particulars of the officer that he said died.
Honorable, let me bring you into the conversation. What would be your immediate reaction to what the police of the IG has said?
Well, I can't act on what the IG have said. I'm a representative of the people. I just had his press conference, and as a chief law officer, or if I may call it, someone that should protect the life of the citizen of this country from being killed and ensuring that there is peaceful coexistence within the four angles of Nigeria, he reserves the constitutional right to tell Nigerians what he is doing. And as a representative of the people too, I think we can ask him what he is doing. So for him to say what he has said, I think I cannot say whether he is right or wrong, because you cannot just hear something today. I've seen all sorts of pictures in the social media. Yes, I've seen protesters with blood lying down in form of a dead bodies. I've seen that. I cannot claim that I have not seen people killed. I've equally seen a picture of a police officer that is claimed to have been killed. I've seen it in the social media. But to say anything about the statement of the Inspector General of Police, I think I'm incapacitated at this moment.
In the face of the interim order that has been flying around, I was served a copy of the court order at the venue of the protest by the FCT Police Commissioner. I've looked at the order, the face of the order. The order did not restrict Nigerians from protesting in any part of Abuja. There are defendants that are named on the face of the order. If they've served those defendants, good luck to the police. The idea of inserting persons unnamed goes to no issue, because we've done a proper review of the order. Nigerians are known people. If you want the order to apply to Nigerians, they know what to do. You have to. Someone who is not named in a suit cannot be directly affected by the suit or the positive order of the court. And in fact, with all the issues around the interim order, we still advise protesters to stay at the National Stadium. The CPFCT command was trying to force protesters into the stadium, and we said we are not here to play a football match. We don't have to go to the turf to play football. We are at the National Stadium, and protesters were apprehensive that they wanted to lock them inside the National Stadium. And while the CP was insisting on that, we saw security vans They drove 6 buses, 6 luxurious buses with thugs at the National Stadium. That was what necessitated, and the whole media, everybody was there. So this can be verified.
But what do you make of the fears of the government? The government had warned that this could escalate.
Yes.
And it could turn violent. And looting could happen. Exactly what they feared happened today.
The lootings that happened were by government thugs. You know, we've been warning over a week ago that government will try to quell the protests like we saw in Abuja today. And that people are too hungry that if they mobilize thugs, these thugs will not go home. This is not 2020 during NSAS when people were still not this hungry. We warned them over a week ago that they should not mobilize thugs. That if they mobilize thugs, the thugs will go against them. And this is what we saw or we have seen happening. Additionally, it's important to note that, in fact, many of the pictures of looting that the police were referencing turned out to be old pictures that have been on the internet. And a first PRO in one of the northern states was seen spreading this fake news. So before the build up to the protest yesterday, the government people were circulating a fake press release by the Take It Back to having called up the protest. So all ideas about propaganda has failed in this protest. And it is still going to fail. Government should, while we sympathize with government, especially the federal government, because it appears that all attention is about the federal government and we are overlooking the states. The states last month got 1.3 trillion from federal government allocation. Then they got an additional 38 billion from the COVID funds. What have they done with it? These states, they loot the treasury, they are not accountable. So Nigerians should also make specific demands on the protest, on the politicians. Additionally, sir, it is important to state that whether anybody likes it or not, the protesters have defined demands. If the president begins to meet some of the demands today, in fact, we had said that...
What are these demands?
Yes, issue of returning fuel subsidy. It is better to subsidize for the Nigerian people than to be subsidizing for politicians. We are subsidizing for the governors. It is not a sustainable approach to governance. If you subsidize, and every nation in the world does subsidy of some kind, even the developed nations. So if we subsidize fuel, it directly affects almost everything that has to do with our economy. We are also saying that politicians should not be paid wages. It should be a part-time job.
Which of them? The National Assembly?
All, with no exception.
Including the ones in the executive?
Including the ones in the executive. Nigeria is too broke for the principal members of the National Assembly to be having thousands of aides. Nigeria is too broke. Nigeria is too broke for ministers to be having hundreds of aides. As your parastatals are having hundreds of aides. Nigeria is too broke for that. That the idea behind this protest is that we have a fundamental problem. We can't just keep blaming the president. When this president came, he said he wants Nigerians to make sacrifices. Nigerians started making sacrifices from day one of this government. They were paying 167 naira. They started paying almost 700 naira per liter of fuel. Have Nigerians not sacrificed enough in the last 1 year? Look at the hyperinflation. The sacrifice of Nigerians are even affecting the economy. It is time for the politicians to also make sacrifices. Another demand of the protesters is the issue of insecurity. I didn't know that the police can suddenly be on red alert over protest. But there's no red alert about the insecurity problems in the country. So it means it is intentional. You don't want the insecurity in the country to stop. It's some form of business. You need to see the grandstanding and the bravado, despite all our efforts to work with the police today, all across the country. I can speak specifically for the FCT. We made concerted efforts to make sure that the protest did not degenerate in every part of the FCT. But the police, it's like they had an order from the Inspector General of Police that at some point, it was peaceful until we got to the 3-hand area. They fired more than 500 tear gas canisters. They even ran out of tear gas.
Were you there?
I was there live. So Nigerians were there. People made videos. For the Inspector General of Police, I do not have any problem with him, for him to come on live TV and say that it was the protesters that attacked the police.
Before I allow you go.
For over a decade, this has been the birthplace of innovation, Innocent Vehicles is a testament to resilience, employing international best practices to create more than just a car. Every vehicle here tells a story of durability, fuel economy and safety. Crafted with the African spirit, the Nigerian heart. These vehicles surrounding me embody the unique concept of regionalization, each one designed to cater to the tastes and preferences of our people. From the streets in Nigeria to the terrains of the Sahara, these vehicles are designed for our roads, for our people. This is more than a vehicle. It's a symbol of our progress, our resilience, our collective success story. Your feedback drives us to continuously innovate and improve. Innocent Vehicle, the pride of African roads.